Have you ever noticed that you can spend 3 hours scrolling through your phone without getting bored, but somehow struggle to read 10 pages of a book? Think about that for a second. How is it possible that your brain can process hundreds of videos, thousands of images, endless notifications, messages, headlines, and random pieces of information every single day, yet focusing on one thing for 20 minutes feels almost impossible? Most people think they have a motivation problem. They think they're lazy. They think they lack discipline. But what if that's not true? What if something much bigger is happening? What if your attention span is slowly dying and you don't even realize it? Because the scary part isn't that it's happening. The scary part is that it feels normal. Every morning starts the same way. You wake up, before your feet even touch the floor, you check your phone. A notification, a message, a video, a headline, a meme, a news update, another notification. And before your brain has even fully woken up, it's already consuming information at a speed no human being was designed to handle. Then the rest of the day continues exactly the same. Constant stimulation, constant interruption, constant noise, and little by little, your brain adapts, not in a good way, in a dangerous way, because your brain learns that every moment of boredom should immediately be replaced by entertainment. Waiting in line, open your phone. Sitting alone, open your phone. 5 seconds of silence, open your phone. A difficult task, open your phone. Without realizing it, you've trained your mind to escape discomfort instantly, and that changes everything. Years ago, people could sit with their thoughts. They could focus on a single activity for hours. They could read long books, study complex ideas, build difficult skills. Today, many people can't even watch a 5-minute video without checking something else. And it's not because they're less intelligent. It's because they're fighting an invisible battle. A battle for their attention. The most valuable resource in the modern world isn't money. It's attention. Every social media platform wants it. Every app wants it. Every company wants it. Every advertisement wants it. Your attention has become one of the most valuable products on earth. And thousands of the smartest engineers, psychologists, marketers, and behavioral scientists spend their careers figuring out how to capture more of it. Think about that. You are not competing against your own willpower. You are competing against systems designed by experts whose entire job is to keep you engaged for as long as possible. And they're very good at it. The average person believes they're making conscious decisions online, but often they're simply responding to carefully engineered triggers. The next video, the next recommendation, the next notification, the next dopamine hit, one more click, one more swipe, one more minute, and suddenly an entire evening disappears. But here's where it gets even more concerning. The damage doesn't stop when you put your phone down, because every time your attention jumps from one thing to another, your brain becomes slightly more accustomed to distraction. Imagine attention like a muscle. If you constantly interrupt it, constantly switch tasks, constantly seek stimulation, that muscle becomes weaker. Focusing starts to feel harder. Reading becomes exhausting. Deep thinking becomes uncomfortable. Long conversations become difficult. And eventually, anything that doesn't provide instant gratification starts to feel boring. That's not an accident. That's conditioning. Rewards immediately. And real life doesn't work that way. Success doesn't work that way. Learning doesn't work that way. Growth doesn't work that way. The most important things in life require sustained attention. Building a business, learning a language, mastering a skill, improving your health, creating meaningful relationships. All of these require concentration over long periods of time. But if your attention span is shrinking, those goals become increasingly difficult to achieve, and many people never understand why. They blame motivation, they blame luck, they blame circumstances. Meanwhile, the real problem sits quietly in their pocket. Consider this. Imagine two people with identical intelligence, identical opportunities, identical resources. One can focus deeply for 3 hours. The other loses concentration every 5 minutes. Who wins over time? The answer is obvious. Focus compounds, just like money, just like knowledge, just like experience. A person capable of sustained attention can learn faster, create better work, solve harder problems, and make smarter decisions. Over months and years, the gap becomes enormous. This is why attention has become a superpower. Not because focus is new, but because distraction is everywhere. In a world addicted to noise, concentration becomes rare, and rare things become valuable. Look at the most successful creators, entrepreneurs, scientists, writers, and innovators. They all share one common trait: the ability to focus intensely on important work. Not occasionally, consistently. While everyone else is reacting to notifications, they're building. While everyone else is scrolling, they're creating. While everyone else is consuming, they're producing. And that's where extraordinary results come from. But let's be honest. Most people know this already. They know social media can be distracting. They know endless scrolling wastes time. They know constant notifications hurt productivity. Yet they continue doing it. Why? Because the problem isn't information. The problem is addiction. Not necessarily addiction in the dramatic sense, but addiction to stimulation. Your brain starts craving novelty, craving updates, craving something new. And the modern digital world provides an endless supply of it. There's always another video, another post, another controversy, another trend, another piece of content waiting for your attention. The cycle never ends, and that's exactly why so many people feel mentally exhausted despite doing very little meaningful work. Their brains are constantly active but rarely focused. They're busy all day, yet productive very little. They're consuming more information than ever before, yet retaining less. They feel overwhelmed, scattered, distracted, drained, not because they're working too hard, but because their attention is being pulled in 100 different directions. Imagine trying to fill a bucket with water while dozens of holes leak from the sides. That's what happens when attention becomes fragmented. Energy escapes everywhere. Very little remains for what truly matters. The good news is that attention can be rebuilt. Your brain is adaptable. The same way it learned distraction, it can relearn focus. But the process requires something many people avoid: boredom. Yes, boredom, the thing modern society treats like a disease, the thing people try to eliminate every second of every day. Boredom is not your enemy. Creativity, reflection, problem solving. Some of humanity's greatest ideas emerged during moments of silence. Moments when there was nothing else competing for attention. But if every quiet moment is instantly filled with content, your mind never gets that opportunity. That's why some of the most successful people intentionally create space. They walk without headphones, they sit without distractions, they spend time thinking. Not because they enjoy boredom, but because they understand its value. And here's something fascinating. When you first reduce stimulation, it feels uncomfortable. Your brain rebels, you feel restless, impatient, almost anxious. That's normal. It's the same reaction someone experiences when breaking any habit. Your brain has become accustomed to constant rewards. When those rewards disappear, discomfort appears. But if you stay with that discomfort, something interesting happens. Your attention starts recovering. You begin reading longer without checking your phone. You become more present during conversations. You think more clearly. Work becomes easier. Learning becomes easier. Life feels less chaotic. Not because the world changed, because your mind changed. And that's the opportunity most people are missing. They're searching for productivity hacks, motivational quotes, secret strategies, advanced techniques, while ignoring the foundation underneath everything: attention. Without attention, knowledge is useless. Without attention, opportunities are wasted. Without attention, potential remains unrealized. The ability to direct your focus toward what matters may be one of the most important skills of the 21st century. And yet very few people are actively protecting it. Ask yourself a simple question. When was the last time you spent 30 uninterrupted minutes focusing on one thing? No notifications. No switching tabs. No checking messages. No distractions. Just complete attention. For many people, it's been weeks, months, maybe years. That should concern us, because attention isn't just about productivity. It's about life itself. Whatever receives your attention becomes your experience. If your attention is constantly fragmented, your experience becomes fragmented. Days blur together, weeks disappear, months vanish, and suddenly you wonder where all the time went. The truth is that your life is ultimately the sum of what you pay attention to. Every relationship, every skill, every achievement, Every memory, every dream, they all depend on attention. Which means protecting your attention isn't a productivity trick, it's an act of protecting your future. The silent death of your attention span isn't dramatic. It doesn't happen overnight. There's no warning alarm, no obvious sign, just small daily habits, tiny distractions, endless scrolling, constant interruptions, accumulating over time, until one day, you realize focusing has become harder than ever. But the story doesn't have to end there, because awareness is the first step. The moment you recognize what's happening, you gain a choice. You can continue surrendering your attention to whatever demands it, or you can start reclaiming it, one decision at a time, one focus session at a time, one distraction resisted at a time. The battle for your attention is happening every single day, whether you realize it or not, and the outcome of that battle will shape your future more than most people can imagine. So the next time you reach for your phone without thinking, stop for a moment. Ask yourself one question. Am I choosing where my attention goes? Or is someone else choosing for me? Because the answer to that question may determine the direction of your entire life.